So what's up, Freedom Foods family? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're across the street at my dad's place, and what we got to do today is we're setting up a new area, a new paddock for our horses. And our horses need to come over here because we have, it's a little over an acre of land that I want to get them out on, you know, some grass, some pasture, rather than be cooped up all day in a stall, or, you know, only get out in the round pen. I want them to be able to run free and everything. So we're gonna set up a whole area here for them, but a couple little issues, nothing major, little issues that I'm just gonna correct right now. That's why I need to set it up. See, with horses, barbed wire is not the greatest thing for them. It's actually pretty bad for them because somehow they always like to get in trouble, and we don't want them to touch the barbed wire. I've seen a horse almost get scalped because it got its foot tangled up in the bottom and then its head was poking through to the other side. So instead of going through and replacing all this with pipe fence, which would be, especially right now, extremely expensive, we're gonna just work with what we got, and we're gonna set up an electric line, kind of similar how we have the cows, and then I think we're gonna rotate around this paddock with the horses. That way, you know, I can keep with what we're doing here, just because it makes me feel better. So what I'm going to do here, like this fence is fine. If I need to remove this piece of barbed wire here, I can, but I think that's fine. What I don't like is that. So we're going to come maybe 3 foot off the fence, and just picked up a whole bunch of stuff from Tractor Supply, and I'm going to go just do a 3 foot offset all the way around to where the horses don't get caught up. And the way that we're going to do that is with just these temporary, semi-temporary rebar posts. Have a T-post, have some electric wire, and some there's an energizer there. I actually got poly rope because the horses, they're not like cows. I guess they need to see something better, and they can see this. So we're going to go with this and go all the way around the paddock with this. But first, for the corners, I'm gonna try something a little bit different here. I'm gonna try and use this just screw-on insulator, the porcelain insulator, and see if this will work as an end point, which would be, if it does, that'd be fantastic. That works. So now that I got all these posts all the way around the whole paddock, all the way around, I just have to go with the insulators now, like this, and screw them on. Not too shabby. Oh, can I do it with one hand? I don't think I can do it with one hand. Can I do it with one hand? Let's see. No. This is boring anyways. You guys don't need to see that. There. You guys get the point. You guys get the point. Alright, now we're going to see how this works. I've never used this before. This is the power rope, just from Tractor Supply. It's got 20 times the shocking power. I don't normally like to use kind of this stuff, especially for permanent, but because it's white and it's thicker, the horses can see it better, is what I'm told. So hopefully this works. The poly wire, the poly whatever, the smaller one of this, that doesn't work for anything. It'll last a couple months and then it's no good. But if this works here, and it's looking, I mean, it's a lot higher quality, a lot more expensive too. But if this works here, what I can do is I'll actually end up putting this on a reel and using this for the cows rather than the what is it, 14 gauge aluminum that I'm using right now, because this here you can actually put on a reel. You really can't reel up the metal wire. So we'll see. First experiment with this, see if it works. Okay, wires all the way around. Come here with the new Energizer. Have a little, didn't think this through all the way, or didn't read all the way. Charge for 3 days in sunlight before turning on. Okay, well, you got charged for 3 days. Thankfully, I have like 5 other Energizers that I'm not using right now. I don't think that I'm gonna move the horses today. A couple reasons. One, I'd like to do it real early in the morning on a day that I have nothing to do, because what I'm gonna do is come out here when I have because what I'm gonna do is, especially for the first day, probably 2, I'm gonna just come out here and sit. I'm gonna come out here and sit and make sure that they are trained to the wire. I'm gonna make sure that they're all good, there's no issues. They're not gonna try and jump this. I don't think they will, because there's two fences, and that's just, I don't think they will. And then I'll be satisfied that this works. But I also want to do it early, that way, as early as possible. That way, like I said, I can sit out here for as long as possible. But other than the Energizer, we're good to go. We're good to go. This thing is completely set up. I'm gonna, well, not all the way. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring over some panels. That way, when I give them their feed, I'll kind of contain them in the stalls here. And then once they're done eating, I'll let them out and then they can graze. The one bad thing with horses is that they'll eat all the way down to the ground. As you can see here, like, it's all the way down to the ground. So they don't really help the pasture too terribly much. They can destroy a pasture pretty quickly. That's why I won't have these out in my front pasture, you know, where it's pipe fence and everything. No, that pasture's too good. That's reserved for the cows. It's gonna stay for the cows. Then we'll have more sections, because this backyard here, it's way too big. No need to mow it. I don't like mowing things. I like grazing things. Why? Because it doesn't take any effort on my part, or any money, gasoline on my part, to graze something. All I have to do, move the cows or horses in there, and I'm going to put up a fence right along here, and that's another 1/3 of an acre, which is quite a bit. And we'll rotate, and you know what? We'll show that. I know that there's some people that are doing this. We'll show that horses can actually improve the land rather than just turn it into a sand pit. But for now, we'll take them from across the street, and they'll have all this to run and roam and be a horse and get calmed down, because they're young, they have too much energy. I want them grazing grass when they can, and then they'll calm down, because they'll burn some of the energy moving around out here, rather than just be in a stall all day. And then when I want them to move, like in the round pen, they're iffy on listening, because they've been cooped up and they want to do their thing. They want to stretch their legs and run. So this is the way that I'm going to do it. See, I'm almost tempted, if I'm going to do this on like a real small scale, come and build like a chickshaw like Justin Rhodes has, and have them spread out all the manure back out onto the land. And then what I'll probably do is I'll probably move the round pen over here, maybe behind the shop, somewhere right in here. Or I'll just we'll see what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build a fence right here, because all this here, this is just where you can see that's the spots where I kept some hay that I was feeding for the cows. They've gone through this already, but this is another, I don't know, 1/4 of an acre that can be grazed. That way I'm not mowing. We just have to mow the yard. Watch me later on find something to mow the yard. What I mean to say is find something to graze the yard. That way we don't have to do it. And we're turning something that's a negative into a positive. Like that. I like this thing. This works. And by the way, this poly rope is a lot, I'm not going to say it's a winner yet, but it's a lot higher quality than the poly wire, and you can roll it up. So it'd make things a lot easier, and I can put this on a reel rather than the metal wire that I'm using right now. So I'm gonna look at this. This might be a change that we make to the farm next year, because so far I'm liking it. So with that, this is done. I think this will work. Pretty sure it'll work, like 98%. Now we just gotta make sure it happens. So I'm pretty happy with this. This was actually a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be to set up. And hopefully tomorrow when we move horses, might be tomorrow, might be the next day, we'll see. We'll check on the weather and how windy it is, because horses with wind, I know it's a big difference. When it's windy out, cows don't care. Horses, they care. They don't like the wind. So First time loading horses by myself, first time, you know, doing this kind of thing with them. We'll make sure that everything's ready to go, because like I could have done it yesterday, I could have done all this yesterday, but it was pouring rain this morning, pouring rain. So I went, no, we're gonna do this, we're gonna make this as easy as possible on me. That's what I like. All right, till next time, see ya.